It's time for Q&A in the Kitchen. It's a podcast and YouTube series where tattoo artists and piercers talk about some of the more common questions people ask about tattoos and piercings. Brought to you in part by Skin Kitchen Tattoo and the Axiom Body Piercing Studio. Well, we have the usual crew, the full crew, the crew that cruise. I guess we don't really cruise, do we?
We're the Motley crew.
Motley crew?
Yeah.
The ambitious crew. The modifying crew. Directly over to my right, or furthest from me, on your left-hand side is Jimmy St. John, tattoo artist at the Skin Kitchen. Next to me is Jack Lowe, tattoo artist and owner of the Skin Kitchen. I am DaVo. I own Axiom Body Piercing and also pierce there. And then directly to my left, your right, is the one and only Brent Starr, tattoo artist and at the Skin Kitchen. What we're going to talk about today is what should I bring to a tattoo appointment or a piercing appointment?
Yeah, especially the longer sessions are getting. People are going bigger now. They just, back in the day, it would be a lot of little one-sitter quitters, and a couple hours was a pretty long setting. But now, we get younger people all the time, just turned 18 or in their early 20s or whatever, and they, from the get-go, they just want a sleeve. There's no putting your toe in the water really a lot anymore, which is great.
And that means camping out in some cases,
right.
6, 7, 8 hours.
Yep.
That's
snacks,
a long part of the day.
Drinks.
Yeah. A lot of my clients will, like Jimmy said, they'll bring kind of a little, when you're a kid and you're going on a field trip that day and you bring, a packed lunch kind of thing. Mm-hmm. I'll have clients do that a lot now. They kind of come prepared, and we'll bring a Yeti or whatever full of, something to keep hydrated, and then some snacks and stuff to kind of keep them energized throughout the day. So I think that's a really good idea, really important. You might just be sitting there all day, but it takes a lot out of you. It's a very mentally taxing thing, which it does it just wears you out. So it's a good thing to, bring something to keep you hydrated.
Yeah. It's very physical too, and when you're getting tattooed, like Jack's saying, it takes a lot out of you, so it wears down. Your metabolism kicks up, and it wears down your energy. So if you don't keep sugar and food in you while you're getting tattooed on those long sessions, you will get kind of yucky and queasy feeling.
Yeah.
To prevent that, bring a few snacks that you prefer. We have some dum-dums here, like little suckers and stuff, and we have some waters. Not you, and it helps. But it's good to bring stuff that you like. If you have a candy bar or some kind of treat that you like to bring, that you like to eat, it helps out a lot. Yep.
A question I would have: you guys usually take at least like a lunch break when you do that long of a session, don't you? At least like a 10 or 15 minute break.
Usually pee breaks, and we try to take a little break, but to smoke a cigarette or to go pee, but we really don't take a lunch break.
Normally, what I find is the client's ass really dictates that, because no matter I went out and spent all the money I could on the most comfortable chair I could, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're sitting on a cloud. If you're sitting in one position for hours upon hours upon hours, your butt's gonna hurt. You're just gonna
reinflate your butt.
You need to loosen up a bit. Try just one day sitting in a chair for 7 hours and not getting up.
Well, everybody's experienced either that flight or that drive, and
exactly.
That's kind of like a tattoo, because you don't want to move around a lot. You don't want to adjust a lot, because every time you do that, it messes with the flow of the tattoo. But it also could create a situation that if you don't forewarn your tattoo artist, there's going to be a mistake, and it might. Probably most seasoned artists can correct them. Mm-hmm.
But that's just eating into your time, and you're just adding on to the the work it's going to take to get it done. And most people are really, really good at knowing, their body, and knowing that even if they're getting tattooed on the right arm, if they move their left arm around, it's going to shake things around. So it doesn't happen a lot, but there are those people that just seem not to be conscious of their body moving and maybe think that it doesn't matter.
Right.
Boy, does it matter.
It's like with me. I don't notice that I do this all the time,
Right.
until I'm watching the playback or doing editing on this and just this series because it's the only time my feet are visible.
Right.
What I always suggest with piercing, and I would suggest this with tattooing too, is if you can, have a good meal before you come in. Now, I'm not saying
absolutely.
go and eat like an entire tray of lasagna, but, have a healthy meal, something that's going to get your blood sugar up, some fruits, some vegetables, some meat maybe if you're into that, something that's going to be healthy and sustain you for the whole period.
And good rest.
Yeah, good night's sleep.
And sleep well the night before.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is as far as liquids, you usually want something with a little bit of healthy sugar in it. I always love apple juice, like with piercings, because it will pump up your blood sugar, but it doesn't have all the crap in it that soda does and other stuff. Because a lot of people have the misconception that soda hydrates you. It doesn't. It has tons of salt in it.
Yeah.
Couple bottled waters is not a bad idea.
Which we keep on hand.
We do. And clothing that if you're getting tattooed or pierced in a certain area that is easy to remove or lift up
Right.
in a way that you that fulfills your modesty.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess that's the
what
way.
you're
If you're
comfortable
going to
with.
get your stomach tattooed as a girl, don't come in a sundress with no underwear on and go, oh, now
Exactly.
what do I do? Well, I don't know.
That's a good point.
Wear some board shorts and wear something that we can get wherever you want to get tattooed at. We don't care. It's skin to us.
Yeah.
But for your modesty and whatever you're comfortable with, being out in the open with people, because that's where you're at. But you got to be able to be available.
Because what happens is if someone comes in and in that situation where they're not really prepared for that and they're modest, well then we are doing whatever we can to make you feel comfortable. But at the same time, we need you to be in a certain position and be able to get at not only the place we're tattooing, but the skin around it, for stretching purposes. And, it's a very close situation when you're getting tattooed. So it ends up making the tattoo more difficult to apply if we've got to struggle and kind of peel back and hold and try to dig our way into where we're tattooing. It's not because we all don't have the internet and just want to see somebody naked.
No, we get better sources for that, and they're going to be more on tune with whatever we want.
Yeah, we're trying to create a situation.
This is not a sexual situation.
No,
It's not at all.
we're trying to create a situation where we can do the best possible job, but at the same time, we want you to be comfortable and everything else. So, just keeping that in mind and wearing something that would be easily removed. And usually, a lot of people do that. Women, a good thing that works really good is if they're getting something on their back that would go where their bra strap or something would be. Grabbing one of your boyfriends or your husband's button-up shirts and putting it on backwards, so you can wear it like kind of a smock that covers everything in front, and then your back is nice and open, and you're not fighting to keep the girls. It just things like that really help.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of there are the halter dresses that tie up in the back.
Yep,
Or
something
tie
like that.
at the neck, and then the back is open. That would be a good option. I have noticed because you guys kind of pierce or kind of you guys don't pierce.
We do a lot of under boob chandeliers, and a
That's
lot
what
of
I
the
was gonna
girls
bring
have gotten
up.
smart, and they're going out and buying their own pasties instead of us having to make them out of
stickers or
whatever we have here.
Right.
Yeah, I've noticed that quite a bit. It seems to have increased recently.
Which is smart. I think it's awesome, because if you want to get all this area tattooed, I got to be able to get to it. I don't want to see your boobs, but you want me to tattoo right under your boobs, man? What do you want me to do?
Yeah.
And we pierce more personal areas, and we have a private area to do that. And with me, generally, I would suggest if you're really, really modest, there's going to be a period of time where you're going to have to be naked in that part of your body for me to do it. But if you're super modest, is bring along like a towel or a blanket. Because
whatever makes you comfortable.
That you can put over the area if that makes you feel more comfortable. And then I will tell you when I can get to that area. A lot of times I'll just take a dental bib and drape it over until we're ready to do it. But it varies from person to person.
Absolutely.
And their modesty and everything else. And, we've got the ability that, we can close the door, and give you privacy. But on top of that, it's still, even if you're privately in a room with someone, there's, some people can still be uncomfortable with just laying there for God and everyone to see them and just for their own personal, whatever. But, we can use drapes and do what we can do. But at the end of the day, just know that going in, know that the artist isn't doing anything other than trying to get you in a position to where they can do their best job, and I guess accept that and know that's just part of the process. I
think the dirty old man with the I need to grab you here, grab you there crap is long gone out of the industry. And if you do encounter that, that's not the studio you should be at, and that is not the artist you should be working with.
And if it's again, like when you're coming in for the consult and you're figuring things out, ask. Go. Yeah. So how does the privacy work? What is there something I need to wear or whatever? I mean, just ask.
If that's a concern or you're getting in an area, just be forward with us and let us know so we can try to accommodate you.
Right. We want you to be comfortable because we want to be comfortable too.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The more comfortable you are, the easier it is for us to apply it to you.
Yeah.
And the truth is, whenever we're working in an area, we have kind of a bare minimum that we need to have unclogged. So I've had a lot of clients, for one reason or another, if we're doing a genital piercing, they're more comfortable if they have one pant leg on.
Yeah.
I've never understood that. Or, but I mean, everybody's different. It's kind of like, a lot of times I'll get, do you mind if I leave my socks on? It's like, yeah, I'm not piercing your feet. So, it's just, work that and ask those questions beforehand.
Right. Mm-hmm. I think another thing you should bring in, though, is something to entertain you. We have TVs in all of our rooms to entertain. We play YouTube and music, to try to keep your mind off of it when we try to talk. But some customers like to watch their TV shows or whatever, on Hulu or whatever they have on their devices, which is great. Just try to remember to bring your headphones because, I don't want to hear The Walking Dead while I'm trying to listen to music and tattoo and talk to four other people in the room because we share a room.
Right.
So if he's tattooing his client, my client, me and him, there's 4 of us in the room. 3 of us don't want to hear what you're watching on the TV.
No.
Yeah.
Nope. Another thing with that is using a device that's easy for you to secure and isn't going to slide over the place. If you're doing a forearm, you don't want to have something that
I don't want you trying to hold your
Mm-hmm.
Because that could be distracting. Like with the TikTok and the social media stuff. Sometimes some of the stuff's really loud. We'll be tattooing and music will be going, and all of a sudden you'll hear somebody screaming whatever they're watching their video, and I'm like, what the hell is that?
Everybody's been to that restaurant or that.
Oh yeah, totally.
Where there's one that decides he needs to talk.
I'm going to listen to it as loud as it is, and I don't wear headphones. Just going to deal with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks.
Moral support would be the other thing. I do not. Well, I do understand. A lot of people like to come along to see you get tattooed or see you get pierced.
I don't mind if you have a companion with you.
Yeah.
Just don't bring your whole posse.
Yeah, the entourage.
I don't need the entourage. I don't need 12 people watching me tattoo you.
No, it's distracting and make the tattoo.
And it's not a spectator sport. If you've never seen a tattoo getting done and you want to come to see what's up,
look it up on YouTube.
Allow yourself about 10 to 20 minutes to check it out and have something to do after because it's not exciting.
No, you don't want to sit there for 6 hours.
Yeah, and with piercing, it's more common for the person that's there to go, "Oh, you already did it."
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're not paying attention. They're on the phone. They're playing around with stuff. But first off, I would say with that is the person should be of an age that they can actually entertain themselves without having a device.
Yeah.
We have lots of from dangerous contaminated items that are not easy to reach but are in our stations all the way up to breakables in our shop It's like I had a client the other day that brought in her toddler, and that toddler was fascinated with that bus bank. And I could not get him to leave it alone. So here I am trying to pierce this person and trying to wrangle these 2 kids.
Yeah.
That's not my job.
Right.
So yeah, you kind of have to have an age. You kind of understand that it has to be somebody that can actually sit there and talk to you.
It's responsible.
And entertain you or what have you, or interact with you. Not somebody that you have to go, oh, here's my phone. Here's my phone. Go look at that. Yeah. Go sit there. No, you can't have another sucker. I'm sorry. You can't have another sucker.
You've eaten 18. Calm down.
Yeah. And it's like, now you're on a sugar high because we're not equipped for that. I guess would be the best way to do it. And you're distracting the person that's supposed to be doing something on you that is pertinent.
Yeah, you're adding stress and just another element to the situation where that's only going to take away from the ability of your artist to do their job.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's a give and take on both sides. You want to be courteous and understanding to the other person, and that goes both ways. But and usually people are okay with that and know that. But yeah, you have those certain people that want something so bad, but there's this that's kind of keeping them from it. But they're like, I don't care, I just want it, and then you lose that. But at the same time, I'm hurting myself really by doing that. But it's something to keep in mind. We don't have a daycare or anything. We don't have a child area.
Our room.
Yeah,
I mean, we're the kids in our room.
Yeah,
exactly.
Really.
We already have 2 immature grown kids in there. We don't need any more children.
children.
And it is an adult area. It's an adult situation. We're it's not Target where our clients are from 2 years old to 200 years old. It's an adult place. So there's adult themed things in the shop. We speak like free adults do.
There's some cursing and some colorful language used a lot of times.
Right.
We're adults. It's 18 and up. It's like going to the adult movie bookstore or to the bar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like act according and bring people that are appropriate.
And from the piercing side point, it's definitely PG-13.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And my portfolio has nudity in it, and that's part of it. I'm sorry, and those are out laying around. I have some of the mold things of various parts of the female and male anatomy.
Yeah.
That you may have to have a discussion with your toddler on the way home. What that's all about.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Don't put yourself in a position that where you have to answer questions you don't want to answer.
What was that thing in that case, Mom?
Yeah. Why is that thing through there? Mine doesn't have that.
Am I supposed to have that?
And so
am I to get one when I'm older? What's happening?
Yeah. And so on and so forth. And the other thing with moral support is leave your judgmental friends at home.
Yeah.
Please.
Or the guy or gal or whatever that likes to egg you on.
Yeah.
Those are the worst people to have in the room with you. The guy that goes, or the gal or what have you, that goes, ow, that really looks like it really hurts. Oh, I can tell you're in a lot of pain. You're faking it, aren't you? Oh, I can't believe you just did that. You're so stupid.
Yeah.
That type.
Yeah.
That is like literally sitting there just making your life miserable. I mean, they might be fun to play with, party with, and hang out with, and punch each other in the nuts, while you're on the weekend. But you don't want them while you're sitting there trying to focus on something that is going to be with you for a long period of time and that you're a little stressed about. They should be supportive.
Yes.
And it's a good idea to bring along people that actually have probably gotten something done, because they have kind of an understanding of what's going on.
Sometimes they think they have a way more of an understanding than what's going on. But
I've watched every episode of Ink Master, and I know how to do this.
So don't bring along the critic.
Yeah.
They didn't do that on TV.
No.
No, you didn't see them do that, but they did it.
And
My producer didn't do that.
They're going to get bored.
Yeah,
very bored.
They're going to get really bored. Because, like I said, it's not a spectator sport.
No.
It's not like watching Miami Ink. It's not.
I usually think that it's best when you guys are doing those long-term tattoos when they have like drop-ins.
Yeah,
people stop by.
Somebody stops by for about 20 minutes and they talk to them and catch up a little bit. Maybe run to the store, get something.
More often than not, that's somebody that has experience in getting a tattoo or piercing, and they understand the process and how long it takes. And they don't want to be there for the whole day.
No. They're being there for their friend to kind of help them relax and feel more comfortable and get that kind of, it's okay, right? Yeah, man, that's cool. Kind of, to get going. But like I said, a lot of times what will happen is that'll happen at first. They'll stick around for 15, 20 minutes, and then they'll be like, okay, well, I'm going to run to the mall. I'll be back in a couple hours. I'll let you know. I'll bring you something kind of thing. And just know that's probably how it's going to go. Because, we have clients that come in from out of town, and, they'll travel several hours, and they'll bring a person or two with them. Look around Des Moines, kind of have some ideas of maybe some places you want to go, kill some time.
Yeah.
And it'll just make it way more fun for you.
Everybody.
And, you'll be...
Of course, you're going to miss out on a couple things because you're getting tattooed, but I think it's a good balance.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We have a park down the street that's actually kind of nice and well maintained.
We're pretty
there's
close
stuff
to
around.
Merle Hay Mall and the movies and all that.
Yes. There's always something.
Bowling alleys and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Now let's talk. If you're a smoker, I don't know. me, I don't have to deal with it as long as you guys do, but with you guys, I know when I get tattooed, I started when you could still smoke in the chair, as nasty as that sounds. Yeah. I almost immediately start craving them. Have you had any negative effects of people using like substitutes, like the
vapes and all that?
Not the vapes. I wouldn't advise the vapes in any reason until we know more. Like Nicorette gum and the lozenges. Has that affected anything?
Some people have used them, but most of my customers, like I usually try to do it. I do a large ink cap when I'm tattooing, like black and gray or whatnot. And when I'm done with that, when that cap is needing to be refilled, it's been about an hour and a half to between the hour and a half 2 hour mark. At that point, I want to get up and reinflate my butt cheeks. I want to go pee. I smoke, so I want to go smoke. They want to have a cigarette. Like, that's perfect timing usually, but between an hour and a half, 2 hours, I try to let them have a break, even if it's just to get up and stretch. Keep from having apathy, just, oh, my legs are locked up. They're killing me. I've been here for 4 hours. Like, so it kind of works out usually.
Okay. I'm just wondering because,
Yeah, usually people can, have a, couple hours and not have a cigarette and not freak out. And it's kind of a good excuse, to take that little butt break and to kind of, shake the cobwebs off and, get a little, it's like between rounds, The fight's a lot better when you give them a break every few minutes,
right?
Because they come out a little re-energized and get to work.
Yeah,
it's kind of the same deal, So it usually works out okay with smokers because about the time they're craving a cigarette, it's about the time I'm usually need to refill an ink cap or need to go pee or, just shake it off, especially if you're working on those areas that you really have to contort yourself and hold your body in a position to get the angle you need and everything.
It's nice to get up and stretch.
Yeah, and I didn't used to do that at all. I would just keep my head down, soldier through, and torture myself. But really, it's not a good idea.
Father time is starting to impede on that a little bit for me.
Yeah, well, the older I get, the more I see the benefits of taking a small break.
Well, exactly.
Even with piercing, you don't really understand how much pressure you put on your lower back and how much movement you have and reaching and pulling, etc. Until you get home. And it's like everything hurts and you're like, oh, I'm getting old. No, it always has been like that.
Well, the other day I was tattooing a customer and I was working on a chest piece and we have the chairs that lay back and, lift up. But I was like bent completely over as far as I could. It's like leaning against a rail. To get that shot, So I'm leaning against that rail and like we took 3 breaks and a 7-hour tattoo to try to push through. And like, man, when I went and sat down in the break room afterwards, I almost cried because like bending my knees the other way, I was like, oh, that hurts.
And you get that bar back effect from leaning over.
Well, you've been leaning with your knees locked. It's horrible.
Yep.
Now,
of course, we have to talk about intoxicants. Do not get drunk before you come in.
No.
Marijuana is an amplifier. I know people have different beliefs on it, and it helps the pain and everything else. Understand that it is an emotional amplifier.
Yes.
If you are nervous and wound up about getting it done, it is not going to make a piercing or a tattoo easier at all.
No, it usually has kind of a reverse effect. Yeah. Like you said, it kind of just magnifies everything a bit.
Totally.
And everybody's, got their own deal. But overall, I found that it's more of a negative influence on the situation than going to help anything.
And the same goes for painkillers.
Right.
I don't know how effective they'd be. With piercing, it's like, well, if you have a nerve block sitting around with you, you can give yourself an injection, maybe, but
these days a lot of people do the numbing stuff. There's a real 50-50. Like some people say it works, some people say it don't. I think it's a lot of mental. Personally, but like when you say, "Oh, Dr. Numb," and you put it on, they're like, "I don't want to feel nothing." It's not Novocaine, dude.
No,
that's not how it works. It's just going to take some of the sting out when they say numb. It's not means it's like dead skin. Like no, it's not like a dead limb, dude.
It just turns it down a bit. Yeah, it might knock it down a level or two and make it a little more comfortable.
And if that's all you need, that's great. But if you're needing it to be like completely Novocained out, like the dentist, I can't feel my mouth. Like it's that's a little further out of your reach there.
Yeah. And the same thing with any type of pills or anything that you may be prescribed.
Right. It just makes it worse.
Yeah.
Believe me, it makes it worse.
If there's a reason why it says on the bottle that you can only take one of those, do not take 8 of them.
I had a customer years ago do that and, was prescribed stuff like that. And every time we take a break, I'll be right back. And like guys went off to get a little thing of water and stuff. And I'm like, what are you doing? And finally I realized a few hours later, because they come back and we're like tattooing like their back or their front or whatever. And they come back to the chair and they lay it on like the opposite side of what we're tattooing. I'm like, what are you doing? Well, I mean, you told me to lay down. Yeah, but we're working on your chest and you're laying face down. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, at that point you got to call the session, because I mean, for their safety and for yours, like, I can't work on you and consciously think that you're okay with what we're doing if you're so out of it you don't remember where we're tattooing at while we're tattooing.
That's a bad sign.
Yeah.
Another thing to talk about during maybe the consultation is if you're getting something done on your side or in a certain area where you might have to be in the same position as if you want to bring along, like you had a client the other day that brought in a pillow.
Yeah,
something
smart.
additional to kind of fit in.
Yeah, if something makes you a little more comfortable, whatever. If you're going to be in an awkward area, by all means, please bring it in.
Yeah.
And we could give you advice on that when you come in.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, I think we've pretty much gone through this, haven't we? Anybody got any other things they would say? Tip. That would be another one.
Tip.
I mean, bring yourself.
Bring a tip.
Be good and rested.
Oh, payment.
Eat.
Most places will accept credit cards now.
Yeah, we take cards.
However,
Children with good teeth,
Magic beans,
strong back,
exotic trips, airplanes, super cool cars,
gold.
Gold.
wishes. They happen to be a genie.
But it never hurts if you want to bring along cash.
Yeah.
Everybody accepts cash.
Well, we can still
Cash
use
is king.
Yes.
Yes,
still.
especially if you're like,
They're trying to overthrow him, but he's tough.
And of course, gift cards. If you buy gift cards,
Yeah, we have really cool gift cards here. They're like credit card type that Jack buys, and you can reload them. Like if you use it, you don't have to throw it away. It's not like a paper card. You can always reload them here and carry them over. If you get like 4 of them from different, people at Christmas, and you want to conglomerate all of them 1-to-1, you can do that and stuff. Like it's really neat.
Yeah.
So that's another thing. Make sure you have a form of payment with you.
Yeah. Don't call it a wallet.
And because most states regulate tattooing now, you need to have a valid ID. Government issued photo ID. That is not that's not your college ID. That's not your high school ID. That's not your social security
even if
card.
you've been here before, every time we fill it out, you have to have your ID on you. It's just something they require us to make sure that you have it on you.
And that comes back to the
as much as I've seen you, and exactly. As many times I've seen you, as many times I've worked on you, that's great. I know you're of age. For our paperwork, the state requires that when they come in and check it, that we have that. You have to have it.
Yep.
And you're not supposed to be out driving around without it anyway.
Actually, you're not. Well,
you're not supposed to be out of the house without it if you're over 16, 18 or something.
Over 16, they can last to 72
You must
hours.
be identified.
You must carry your papers.
You carry your papers when you leave house.
But basically, they'll hold you until somebody can come down
and
and
identify you.
Data that you are that person.
Right.
Usually that won't happen unless you're doing something you probably shouldn't
Right. It's
be doing
rare.
in the first
That's a rare occurrence.
But it can happen.
Unless you're illegal, and then it doesn't matter. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in Iowa, you have to be 18.
Yes. There's no parental consent.
Yes, you have to be 18 in the state.
Yeah, there is no like
to get
underage
tattooed.
parental consent.
Piercing is unregulated, but I require a parent. I claim parent. A parent or legal guardian to be present, or a notarized letter of consent.
Yep.
And nobody knows. Most of these people never know what a notarized letter. Here's a napkin if my mom said I could have. No,
that doesn't work.
No.
No.
Well, I think that pretty much covers it, though.
Yeah.
Ta-da!
Till next time. Well, I guess I should plug that stuff. If you liked this, enjoyed it, found it helpful, please give us a thumbs up. Let us know that you liked it.
Missed.
If you have a question we missed or something you'd like to see us cover in the future, please make a comment. They're on YouTube, or send us a quick email. That's going to be in the description. Check out our merch store. Links in the description. Also subscribe. If you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe right where you are. And then hit that notification bell so that you're notified every single time we post something. If you're listening to a podcast, we do post these every other Sunday, usually.
Keep your eyes on the road.
Depending on our schedule. You can just subscribe wherever you got it from, because we'll keep putting it there. Till next time, here's hoping all your tattoos and piercings heal with ease and without a single issue. And if you're in the Des Moines, Iowa area, we hope to see you for your tattooing and body piercing needs in the future. Have a good day, everybody. Take care.
Thanks, guys. Be good.